morning students. Hope you all are good and safe at home. We are doing linear programming problems and today is the last topic of linear programming problems related with transportation. Let's do one question. You will find that this is one of the easiest topic of linear programming problems once you will understand it properly. So the question is, let's do it. There are two type of factories located at P and Q. So we have two type of factories, name it as P and Q. From this place, a certain commodity is to be delivered to each of three depots, A, B and C. There are three depots, that means there are three shopkeepers, A, B, C. So two factories are delivering some type of commodity to these three shopkeepers, A, B and C. So we'll draw one flow chart to understand this question easily, to understand it properly. We have one factory P and another factory Q. There are two type of factories P and Q. One is located here, another is located here. Let's assume. Now the both are delivering the commodities to A, B and C. So we have three shopkeepers. A is located here, B is located here and C is located here. So these are three shopkeepers and the weekly requirements of depots are respectively 5, 5 and 4. Okay, its basic requirement is 5, its basic requirement is 5, its basic requirement is 4. It means these shopkeepers can store, A shopkeeper can store maximum of 5 units of that commodity. He can store maximum of 5 units of that commodity. C can store maximum of 4 units of that commodity. That means this shopkeeper is having the space for 4 commodities only. Now, while the production capacity of P and Q are 8 and 6 units. Okay, its total capacity is 8 and its total capacity is 6. That means it can store 8 units, it can store 6 units. Okay. The cost of transportation per unit is given below. This is the table which is given to us and this is a table related with the cost of transportation. The cost of transportation is given to us per unit. That means for 1 unit the cost of transportation will be, if one commodity will transfer from P to A, because P is a factory, one P factory is delivering the commodity to A shopkeeper, then its cost will be 160 rupees for 1 unit, because he is saying per unit. So whenever P is delivering to A, then the cost is 160 rupees. Then if P is delivering to B, then the cost is 100. If P is delivering to C, the cost is 150. These are the costs for 1 unit only. Now, Q is delivering to A, the cost will be 100. Now, if Q is delivering to B, then the cost is 120, and whenever it is delivering to C, the cost will be 100 rupees. Now, this is the cost that we have already mentioned in the flow chart, and the question is saying how many units should be transported from each factory to each depot. Now we don't know about the quantity, which is that means units of commodity which is delivering from P to A, P to B and P to C. Same as from Q to A, Q to B and Q to C. We need to find it out. We need to assume let how many units. So let the units transported from P to A is equals to x. So first of all, how many units should be transported from each factory to each depot to get minimum transportation? Okay, this minimum is coming with transportation cost, so it gives us z. It is totally clear because minimum means we'll have to find the minimum value and also find minimum transportation cost. We need to find that cost also, and we need to find minimum transportation cost. Now we have now the unit transported from P to A x, P to B y, P to C z, then Q to A, Q to B, Q to C. In that case, we can, if we are doing this very question by taking different variables, then we should have 6 variables: P to A x, P to B y, P to C z, then it can be A, B and C. So we can take 6 variables. The question will become difficult. So in case of by taking x and y, that unit from x, y, z or a, b, c, different 6 variables, I am taking the total units is available 8. If he is transported x units to A, then the total units, if but I have mentioned the units transported from P to P. If P is delivering X commodities to A is having the capacity of 5 units. If X, we don't know about X, it can be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maximum of 5. If he is receiving 3 units from, let's take example, if he is receiving 3 units from B, then of course he is having the place of 2 units only, because he is already having the 3 units from P factory. Then he can arrange 2 more units to, so that he can store it well. Otherwise he don't have storage for more than 5 commodities. So if he is having X commodities from P, then he can receive 5 minus X, because total 5 units capacity is of A. If he is taking X units from A, then 5 minus X units from Q. X units from P, 5 minus X units from Q. This is the quantity taken from Q. Now, if P is delivering Y units to B, so let the units transported from P to B. If it is Y commodities are transferred from P to B. Again, it is having the storage capacity of 5 units. If Y he is receiving from P, then he has a capacity of 5 minus Y units that he can take from Q factory. Now, P is also giving to shopkeeper C or depot C. Now, he is having total 8 units, because what we are doing in linear programming problems, while drawing the graph, we are taking x-axis and y-axis. We have already taken x, we have already taken y. If we are taking z-axis, it will be your 3-dimensional geometry question. Now, if we need only 2 variables, what we'll do here, he is having, that means the factory is having 8 units of storage capacity. He has already given x to A, y to B. Now, total capacity which is left with P is, it is 8 minus x minus y, because 8 unit he is having minus x minus y. If both quantities will be subtracted, the left which is remain with P, he can transfer it to C. So the units 8 minus x minus y should be delivered from P to C. Now, these quantities, this quantity is going to C. Now C has total capacity of 4 units. Now, he has taken some quantity from P. Now, the left quantity is with 4 minus 8 minus x minus y. 4 minus, that means total quantity, he can keep it keep it in C depot, that is 4 units. So 4 minus the quantity he is received from P. The quantity he is receiving from P. Now 4 minus this, it becomes minus 4 plus x plus y. It is minus 4 plus x plus y. That means this is the quantity that C is receiving from Q. Now we have all the quantity. You are watching that I have taken only two variables, x and y. This equation is also x and y, x y. I have not taken z, a, b, c. Instead of taking 6 different variables, what I am doing, this flowchart is giving the proper explanation. Now we have all the units which is transferring from P to ABC and from Q to ABC, and we have the cost, transportation costs as well. Now we need to find the constraints. The first constraint will be, of course, x. X commodities are going, so x will be either equals to 0 or greater than equals to 0. Of course, x is a units transported from P to A. So it is possible that P is delivering one unit of commodity to A. It can be 0, it can be 1, it can be 2, it can be 3, so on. Now x is equals to 0. 0 means that he is not delivering, that means P is not delivering any commodity to A, or greater than 0, that means he is delivering 1, 2, 3, any the number of quantity to A. Now another one is 5 minus x. Next one is 5 minus x. Again it is greater than or equals to 0. It is again, this is the quantity that Q is delivering to A. So quantity can be positive or can be 0. 0 means no commodity is transferring. But if greater than 0, that means some commodity is transferring from that very factory to A, B, C. So 5 minus x is also greater than or equals to 0. Again, here's the quantity is y. So y greater than or equals to 0. Here's the quantity is 5 minus y. So 5 minus y greater than or equals to 0. Here's the quantity is 8 minus x minus y greater than or equals to 0, and here's the quantity is x plus y minus 4 greater than or equals to 0. Now we have all the constraints. These all are the constraints. Let's solve it. X greater than or equals to 0 and y greater than or equals to 0 together form first quadrant. Two constraints together will form first quadrant. That means the shading will be in first quadrant. Here it is. X goes to that side. It becomes positive. So the mouth of inequality is closed in front of x. So x less than or equals to 5. I have not changed the sign. Here's the x is on right hand side. Now I have taken x is on left hand side. So if I am transferring x from right to left, then of course the units will change. That means, or another hint is, here's the mouth of inequality is closed. Here's the mouth of inequality is also closed for x. You can take the hint. Now another one is 5 minus y. Again 5 is greater than y. So here's the mouth is closed. So here's the mouth is closed for y. Another one is 8 greater than or equals to x plus y. So x plus y, the mouth is closed for x plus y. Less than or equals to 8. And here x plus y greater than or equals to, this minus 4 will go to that side, then comes 4. Now we have 4 constraints. First, second, third and fourth. 4 constraints, and these 2 constraints are saying the shading will be in first quadrant. Now we'll have to find out z. Z is the cost of one commodity transferring from T to A, so it is 160, and X commodities are transferring from T to A, so total cost will be 160X. Here from P to B, total Y commodities are transferring, and for each commodity transportation, the cost is rupees 100. So total cost will be 100Y. Here the total cost will be 150 into 8 minus X minus Y plus, here the transportation cost is 100 for each commodity, and total commodities which is transferring 5 minus X. So 5 minus X into 100 plus, here's the 120 for each commodity, 120 rupees. So total commodities are 5 minus Y. So 120 into 5 minus Y. And here we have to multiply 100 into minus 4 plus X plus Y. So the total cost, total transportation cost will be, this is the cost from T to A, this is the cost from T to B, transportation cost from T to C, Q to A, Q to B and Q to C, the total cost is. Now we'll solve it out. 160X, 100Y, $1200 minus 150X minus 150Y. Now plus 500 minus 100X plus 600 minus 120Y minus 400 plus 100X plus 100Y. Now 100X plus, and here's a minus sign, so they will cut. Now any other term that can cut? No, there is no other term that we can cut. So here we'll add x terms with x and y terms with y, and constant with constant. So 160x minus 150x, it becomes 10x. Now here's we have 100y minus 150y, it becomes minus 50y, and here we have 100y and minus 120y, it becomes minus 20y. Okay, I have solved these equations. Next, 500 plus 600 is 1100. 1100 minus 400 is 700. Now 700 plus 1200. Again we have one more constant which is 1200. So it becomes 10x minus 70y plus 1900. This is the value of, this is the function of function z. Now we have all the constraints and z. Now we can solve it graphically. Here's the main concern is to draw this flow chart. If you are drawing this flow chart well, then you can find the constraints very easily, because here all the constraints are the quantity of the commodity. The quantity of commodity, it is always greater than or equals to 0. So here's the sign is always greater than or equals to 0 for each commodity, because commodity cannot be negative. The quantity of commodity cannot be negative, and the transportation cost will club it and will find the function z. Now we'll do the question. I'm writing z on the top, because the z is equals to 10x minus 70y plus 1900. Now, first of all, for the equations, first one is x is equals to 5. Here, if we'll substitute 0, 0, of course 0, 0 is not lying on this line, so 0, 0 in inequality. 0 is less than or equals to 5. Of course 0 is lesser than 5, so the case is true. This is the first case. The second case is y is equals to 5. So again, if we are substituting 0 is equals to 5, which is not possible. That means 0 0 is not lying on line. So we'll substitute 0 0 in inequality. So 0 is less than or equals to 5. Of course, this is a true case because 0 is lesser than 5. We'll take the third case. Third case is x plus y less than or equals to 8. So we'll take equation that means equals to, if x is 0, y is 8, if y is 0, x is 8. And if we'll substitute, is 0 0 lying on this line? 0 plus 0, that means 0 0 is equals to 8. Of course not lying on line because that is not equal. So we can substitute in equation. So 0 is lesser than 8. Yes, it is true. Because from both of the cases lesser than or equals to, we need to, if the condition is true for any one of any case, any one of the case, then we can say the case is true. Because at one time, one number cannot be less than or cannot be equals to. So at one time only one condition can be rectified. So here's the one condition lesser than is true. Now we'll take the fourth equation. It is x plus y equals to 4. So we'll find the points. If x is 0, then y is 4. If y is 0, x is 4. And again 0 0 is not lying on line. So we'll substitute 0 0 in inequality. It is greater than or equals to 4. So 0 is greater than or equals to 4. We know 0 is neither greater than nor equals to 4. The condition is false. Now we have three true conditions and one is false condition, and shading will be in first quadrant. So I am drawing just first quadrant here. If you want to draw all the 4 quadrants, it's up to you. You can draw. Now I am taking the gap of 1 1. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now, the very first equation is x is equals to 5. That means the line will be parallel to y-axis. X is equals to 5. And the condition is true. Again 0 0. So 0 0 is here. The shading will towards 0 0. Now the another line is y is equals to 5. Y is equals to 5, that means it will pass from y-axis on 5 and the line will parallel to x-axis. The line is y is equals to 5 and again the condition is true for 0 0. So shading will be downward. Now the another point is 0 8 and 8 0. Here it is 0 8, here it is 8 0. Now this line is x plus y equals to 8. Now the shading, the condition is true. Of course shading will towards 0 0. And the last line is x plus y is equals to 4. The points are 0 4 and 4 0. This line is x plus y equals to 4. And in at point 0 0 the condition is false. So condition is false, that means away from origin it is upward side. Now the common visible region, that means the common shaded area will be first line shading, second line shading, of course third line will shade from this side, and fourth lines shade first, second, third line, and fourth line shading will this. That means this is the common visible region. And of course you are watching that this is bounded. It is closed from each side. So it is bounded. The visible region is bounded, and it is in first quadrant. Now we'll have to find all the corner points. First of all, we'll name it. First one is A. This is your B. C, D, E and F. There are total 6 corner points here. Now, what is A point? A, B, C, D, E, F is a bounded physical region. What is A point? A point is, it is at 4 point on y-axis, so it becomes 0, 4. The B point is, this is at 5, so B is equals to 0, 5. The C point is, C is the intersection point of this line and y is equals to 5. We need to find. Now D is also, still we don't know. Here's one line is x is equals to 5 and another line is x plus y is equals to 8. We need to find it out. Now, what is E point? E point is at 5 on x-axis, so it is 5, 0. And what is F? F is at 4 point on x-axis, so 4, 0. The 4 points we know. Now we need to calculate C and D. Now first of all we'll find the point C. C is the intersection point of this line, x plus y is equals to 8 and y is equals to 5. So after substituting y is equals to 5, we'll get x is equals to 3. The point C is 3, 5. 3, 5. Now we'll have to find point D. D is the intersection point of x is equals to 5 and x plus y is equals to 8. So x is equals to 5. We know that x is equals to 5, then y is equals to 3. The point will be 5, 3. Now we have all the points. We need to calculate the value of z on all these points. So points will form one table and z is 10x minus 70y plus 1900. Now the very first point is 0, 4. Another point is, first of all we'll substitute this very point, the point A. So 10 zeros is 0 and minus 280 plus 1900. So 1900 minus 280 is 1520. The transportation cost will be 1520 rupees. Now at 0, 5, x is 0, 350 plus 1900. It is 1520. Okay. We need to calculate 1900 minus 350. Okay. It is 1550. Here it is beta, it is 10. So here it is 8. Okay. 8 minus 2 it is 6. So it is not 1520, it is 1620. Here I am doing mistake. It is 1620. After calculating, you can calculate it at home and you can find that it is 1620. Now it is 1550. Another point is 3, 5. Now 30 minus 350 plus 1900. So this is This its value is 1550 plus 30. It is 1580. Now the next value is 5 comma 3. It is 50 minus 210 plus 1900. Okay. Now 210 minus 50, it is minus 160. So 1900 minus 160, it becomes 1740. Now for the next point, 50. Z is 50 plus 1900. Directly it is coming 1950. And for the last point, 4 comma 0. It is 40 plus 1900. It is 1940. Now we need to calculate the minimum transportation cost. So here's the minimum value is it is 1550 is the minimum value. Yes, it is 1550 is the minimum value. So the minimum transportation cost is minimum transportation cost is equals to rupees 1550 at 0.5. That means no commodity is transferring from P to A, but 5 commodities are transferring from P to B. So you will have to write this at end that there is no commodity which is transferring. It is a value of x, x, but we have assumed that x is the value of the quantity of commodity that is transferring from P to A. It is 0 now. That means no commodity is transferring. So 5 commodities are transferring from P factory to B depot. So minimum transportation cost is rupees 1550. Hope you understand this question. This was the last topic of linear programming problems. I am sending you one assignment related with transportation cost. Betaji, the question is very easy. If you will form the right flow chart. So this question is totally dependent upon flow chart. If the flow chart is right, then the question will become, of course, automatically will be corrected, because the inequalities, the constraints are very easy to form from that flow chart. So hope you understand this question. Sending one assignment related with transportation cost questions, and after that we will be sending one more assignment of whole chapter so that you can revise this chapter thoroughly. Thank you so much.